So, Cinccino. What a beautifully designed Pokemon in terms of looks. However, as a, I guess, damager himself, it's cool utilizing Skill Link, right? With Tail Slap that hits 2 to 5 times with, I guess, the main problem with Cinccino in competitive is the fact that it does 0 damage against Steel types. So you got the funny Steelix, it just completely walls it. Of course, it's not just Steelix. Anything with decent bulk can just tank this thing, since it only has 95 base attack. However, its fast speed makes it so that we don't have to worry about not outspeeding anything. So that's very lovely. And this Cinccino run normally was supposed to start later. However, this time I'm doing it as a solo run versus my good old pal Speedrunner, which I will leave a link to his channel in the description. But if I forget to do so, which I might, just look up Speedrunner 0218. Cool guy. There's also a bunch of solo run speedruns, but usually for older games. But anyways, so here are the rules for the run, for my run at least. He uses different rules, I use my own rules, but take a look and let's get into it. So Cinccino, starting moveset is kind of unfortunate. It has the most important move it needs, being Tail Slap. However, its level 1 moveset is supposedly able to also have Bullet Seed and Rock Blast. However, we don't get any of that. All we get is Tail Slap, Sing, Tickle, and Helping Hand. Which means we don't get coverage, especially since Rock Blast and Bullet Seed are both helpful. Bullet Seed helps to hit rock types, which is something that Tail Slap cannot. And the Rock Blast is mainly just, I guess, in my opinion, it's mainly for what's his face called? Skarmory, because there are like around 3 Skarmories in this game, and having a Rock Blast just makes it so much easier to take it down. However, since we don't start off with those moves, we do get a chance to get it back with the Heart Scale. However, unless we get lucky and find another Heart Scale, we only get one choice between the two. And I will tell you later which decision I made there. So to start, it was pretty evident that using what's his face called, Skill Link over Technician was a much better idea, since Tail Slap does an incredible amount of damage when it hits 5 times, especially since we are I guess it is stab, so it helps a lot. It's also the first normal type of use. I will also mention that there is a Silk Scarf, I think, after it's on Dewford Town, but I should mention it now just because I couldn't completely remember where it was. I also taught the Echoed Voice TM, but I don't think this was actually too useful of a TM. I will say, despite being a Pokemon that could one-shot most other Pokemon, Cinccino does do it slightly slower, just because it hits. You have to watch the health bar go down slow, bit by bit, just because of the whole hitting multiple times thing. However, that's only a small time loss. It's just slower compared to other Pokemon that can one-shot. So our first gym leader is Roxanne, who is a rock type, which obviously resists our Tail Slap. However, using a O-Power attack, it's actually quite evident that we do a lot of damage, even though she resists, and even though Geodude Nosepass has pretty solid defenses. A +1 Tail Slap just deals incredible amounts of damage, and we are able to just kind of rip through her Geodude and Nosepass, which is a couple of Tail Slaps, especially since they couldn't really take us down. They weren't able to deal enough damage to actually threaten us, and with our good speed, we're able to still outspeed despite getting hit by Rock Tombs. It also, so my original plan was, if Tail Slap wasn't enough, then we can Tickle until they have 0 attack and heal up and just go for the kill. But after seeing our damage just being a 2-shot on, or 2 to 3 shot on our Pokemon, I realized that that was not necessary. All we have to do is just spam Tail Slap and they don't do enough damage to kill us, nor do they outspeed after using multiple Rock Tombs. So with that, we're able to take down Roxanne quite easily at around 11 minutes 49 seconds, which I believe is actually kind of slower than some of the other Pokemon I've done, but it's not horrible. And then next up, Brawly. Despite being a fighting type, it's not really a problem as long as he can't really deal any damage to me, and that's what happened. We did get the Silk Scarf, which is really nice. And then when we go to the museum to fight Team Aqua, I will say that I actually grabbed the Thief TM again because the Thief TM is very helpful for Cinccino, since not only do we have to worry about Steel and Rock types, we also have to worry about Ghost types since Tail Slap does not deal enough damage. And when I mentioned Ghost types, I'm talking specifically about Phoebe's Dusclops that can use Curse on you, and that's one thing we really want to avoid. So how do we avoid that? We just try and kill it with Thief. But Thief is kind of a weak attack and we don't have Technician, so whether we actually kill is something you'll have to find out for later once we get to that part of the video. So now we take on Watson. Now with Watson here, even though he has Steel types, we still show how strong the Tail Slap is. I did buy the Facade TM, but I don't actually use it. It was just kind of nice to have just in case. But yeah, we don't actually have to use it. I did have to go back to heal since our main attack is Tail Slap and only has 10 PP. It does mean we do have to refill that up at the Pokemon Center quite a lot. But yeah, Watson was not an issue with an O-Power attack. We are able to just rip through his team with the good old Tail Slap. And next up is Flannery. So Flannery I actually did lose to just because of Torkoal being able to tank a hit. And then, oh yeah, it's mainly because I got burned by Slugma. The Slugma burned me with Flame Body, which was really hard to avoid, I guess, because of the multiple hits and Flame Body contact. But yeah, in the second time, I decided to make sure I bring full heals with me so I could actually heal up. And with that, I was able to actually take down her Torkoal in 2 Tail Slaps. But with her down, it's time to take down Norman. And taking that Norman is not really much of an issue. He can't really do too much damage. I will also mention that I think after losing to Flannery once, I was kind of behind Speedrunner. That little mistake I made of not buying a potion just really costed me a lot. However, that doesn't mean we're completely out of the race. So after beating Norman, oh yeah, I forgot. So to combat Steel types, I got myself the Dig TM after beating Watson. So the Dig TM allows us to hit Steel and Rock types, which is something we really struggle with Tail Slap. Not only that, we go to the hard scale place and I decided to choose Bullet Seed, mainly because we are fighting Team Aqua, so we want something to be able to easily take down the Sharpedos. And even though Tail Slap can do the trick, they do have rough skins, so if we're using Tail Slap, each time we hit them with Tail Slap, we get hurt ourselves, and that's not something we want. Therefore, I decided to go with a good old Bullet Seed. And Rock Blast is only good for Skarmory, so having, I guess, one move for just a bulky Pokemon that can't really kill us is not really that useful. It just makes it slightly faster, and that's, you know, not really what we want. Anyways, with that new update to our moveset, we decided to take down Winona, which is when we first come up against Skarmory's. Even though like we don't have Rock Blast or anything, it is actually shown that it still only takes 2 Tail Slaps to take down Skarmory, which meant that my decision of not taking Rock Blast and taking Bullet Seed instead was actually quite a good idea. Even though I did run, I guess I almost ran out of Tail Slaps against Winona, but luckily I didn't. I just barely had enough. Yeah, with Winona down, it's I guess time for Tay and Liza. So Tay and Liza, we had Bullet Seed, so it's really not much of an issue. This is also one of the moments where I realized, yeah, I knew Bullet Seed was a good idea. Since she does have rock types and we can't use dig on them just because they have levitate. Obviously we could try tail slapping, but since I did have bullet seeds, might as well just better to just use that. So after getting through Tay and Liza and dealing with I guess we do have to fight Archie for the last time, but Archie's not an issue. Since I guess if there's anything that could have potentially caused a problem, it would have been Muck, who might be able to live a move from us, but not actually. Just using one tail slap, it was it was just proof that it just does nothing. And his Mega Sharpedo is obviously not an issue when we have Bullet Seed and we easily outspeed. So now we take down Wallace, and Wallace we have Bullet Seed. I did make kind of a mistake in I messed up the ice puzzle and it fall had to fight a bunch of trainers or just go like lose just a bunch of time after failing that, and which is really unfortunate on my side. But otherwise, yeah, Wallace is no problem when you just have a Bullet Seed to just one-shots everything. So we make our way to Wally. Now Wally's just slightly scary, mainly just because if we don't one-shot Mega Gallade can easily one-shot us. However, Wally's AI is really bad, so even though, oh wait, no, never mind, I'm thinking about a different Pokemon right now, because Wally did not kill or did not live a tail slap from us. I was thinking about maybe a different Pokemon, but yeah, so easily able to take down Wally, proving once again that Wally's not a threat. And now it's time for the dreaded experience of fighting the Elite Four. So for the Elite Four, Sydney obviously, Sydney is not much of an issue, just because he does no damage, or at least we deal enough damage to just take down everything, no problem. However, it's Phoebe time. Phoebe time is when we see how much damage Thief can do. And so we use an O-Power attack, giving us +1 attack damage. And so with the +1 Thief, it is proved that it does around 90% of her health. Not enough to one-shot, but it's totally fine, because just having a two-shot, as long as she doesn't go for Curse turn 1, and she went for Confuse Ray instead, which is really nice. We just had to break through the confusion, which is obviously some RNG, but we just gotta pray that we break through and it's totally beatable. However, problem is, once we beat Dusclops, she has Sableye right after. Sableye has Foul Play, which does more damage the higher attack we have. Since we use an O-Power attack to deal enough damage to kill the Dusclops, we just get one shot by Sableye. So that becomes a big issue. And I think my other, I guess, idea to beat it was to utilize Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed was not enough. And also, I think the second attempt, I tried using Bullet Seed, or I just got unlucky with the confusion, hit myself, and it got cursed, which just made it impossible to win. So that was another fail. And so now, on the third attempt, I think I might have avoided using the O-Power attack, because by doing this, I'm able to avoid getting one shot by Sableye's Foul Play, giving us a nice somewhat easy win, because I think Thief was still a two-hit KO even without the O-Power attack, and by doing that we don't get one shot by Sableye. We just gotta deal with everything else that comes after, but everything else that comes after doesn't really prove much of a threat to us. So now we had to deal with Glacia. Glacia is not much of an issue. Everything just kind of dies to Tail Slap, or for Frostlass, I think we used Thief for that. So yeah, Thief taking down that, and then dealing with Drake. I don't remember if I actually used an O-Power or not, but his Pokemon aren't much of an issue either. I think I used an O-Power attack. I think you some O-Power attack and maybe some X items, just to make sure I'm able to easily defeat him, because if I lost to him, would almost mean that I might have just lost to speedrunner, because at this point I am comfortably ahead, comfortably in quotes. He just went out of the way to get a bunch of rare candies, so he's practically in a really, he purposely slowed down just to get a bunch of levels to make some future fights easier. However, I want to, since I never got my way for that, so I went straight to it. It allowed me to get ahead. However, if I kept losing to the leaderboard, that means he'd be able to catch up and then easily win. That's why I think I used some X items in this battle to make sure I won that. And then last up is Stephen. So Stephen, I had to use some X defense just to make sure that Aggron doesn't kill me, because I'm pretty sure that I couldn't get enough damage to one-shot at Aggron, no matter how hard I tried, because in the end, I'm still just Cinccino with 95 base attack. So, with some X items and some healings, and Skarmory is obviously still not an issue. We're able to just take down Steven or take down Steven at a time of 1 hour 54 minutes and 32 seconds, which was able to beat speedrunner. We were able to win the race, and Cinccino's time is just, I think, 27 seconds faster than Mega Altaria, and obviously faster than Mega Gengar. So Cinccino is just a few minutes slower than Magnezone, which is really surprising. I guess just Magnezone just did insanely well. But yeah, Cinccino, not a bad Pokemon. It's actually quite fun to use Tail Slap, considering how much damage it did, despite I guess everyone just kind of underestimating its potential. Even me, I was kind of underestimating a lot. But yeah, I did well. We won the race. It's pretty fun. But anyways, next up is going to be Mega Aggron, so look forward to that. We'll see you there.